Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these candy dishes from the Dollar Tree. It's made out of plastic, and a few of these bamboo skewers. And so I'm just going to simply hot glue these skewers to the sides of, or to the side of this candy dish. And I'm going to go along the whole perimeter and just start adding glue and putting a stick and adding glue and putting a stick and so on and so on and so on till I get done. And now with it all completed, I'm going to take some jute twine, also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to tie a little knot on the bottom of one of the jute twines, and I'm going to start weaving back and forth, alternating, skipping every other skewer, and just start weaving. And when you do this, if you're going to do this, make sure to have an odd number of skewers. That way, as you go around, you'll hit them just right. If they're even, it's not going to weave properly. So as you can see here, I'm going to keep weaving around until I get it to this point. I'm thinking I must have weaved it a good 30 times or so. I'm not sure. I wasn't really counting. But you weave it as many times as you'd like. And so now I'm taking some of these wooden beads from Amazon, and all I'm doing is dropping one on each of these skewers. And so I'll go around the whole perimeter and get them all covered with one bead. I'll do one large bead and then one smaller bead, and then again one larger bead, so it'll look like a trio of beads. And now I'll go back in with the jute twine and I'll do the same thing as I did before. I'll tie a little knot on one of the bamboo skewers and I'll just start weaving, and I'll do another good, I don't know, 50 times maybe. And the reason why I'm doing so many times is because you happen to be using a really thin jute twine from the Dollar Tree. Now Dollar Tree does carry thicker jute twine, but I didn't pick that up. I just had this one on hand. And if you go to Walmart, they have one that's even thicker, so you wouldn't have to weave it as many times. But since this is pretty thin, I had to weave it a whole bunch of times. Let me tell you, I think I became an expert at weaving jute twine. And here's how it looks after the next thick layer of the jute twine being woven around. And it's looking pretty cute, I think. So now we're going to go ahead and add some more of the beads, and this time I decided to use the really thick beads, the bigger beads. And here's how it's looking with this next step completed. And now I'll go in with some more jute twine, and I'll just continue till I get it almost clear to the top of these bamboo skewers. And it'll look pretty amazing. So look, just like this. Look at that. Look at that. And so the excess jute twine that's sticking out, I don't glue it or anything. I just add a bead to the bamboo skewer, and it kind of locks it in place. So now I'm going to add some smaller beads just to help finish off the top. And now here's how it's looking. And so now I'm just going to finish off the very, very top where all the little points are at. And I'm just going to add some of this really cute, it's kind of like a burlap macrame kind of type of ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to hot glue a little dabs of glue on some of the bamboo points, and I'm just going to add this beautiful ribbon, and I'll use my handy dandy laundry clips to help keep it in place, and I'll just continue and keep going around until I get all done. And I'll go ahead and do the same thing to the inside portion of this basket. And here it is, looking all cute. So now I want to get rid of all the fuzzies on the jute twine, so I'm going to do my favorite part, and that is taking my lighter and burning up all the little fuzzies. I love the way this smells. Oh my goodness. But it looks so good. I also like the way it looks. I like it shadows it a little bit. Makes some of the areas a little bit darker. So I like the different color tones that it also does for it. So now I'm going to wrap the bottom portion with this burlap ribbon because I don't like the way it's looking too clear. The original piece didn't have anything like this, but I'm making this my own. So I'm just going to add a couple of layers of this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to create a quick little bow with the same ribbon. And then pretty much I'm done. And it's just a beautiful little basket. To me, it looks like a birthday cake though. I think it's so cute. I'm loving it. So now I'm just going to make my quick little bow. And this thing is tall, by the way. This thing is really, really tall. Yeah, you'll see in a minute how tall it is because I took a picture with my water bottle beside it, so for comparison, so you can see how tall this thing is. This thing is huge. So here I'm just going to make my little bow, quick little bow, and then add some tails. And I do dovetail the ends and then hot glue it, and then I'll add a tiny little piece of that same ribbon that I placed on the top. I'll add that to the center of the ribbon just to give it another little accent piece. And yeah, then that's it. Oh, here's my little piece, and I just add it real quick. And then here it is. Let me know what you think. So today's challenge is actually a challenge by the wonderful Sue over at Discovering the Art of Living, and it's a dupe challenge. Okay, so for this DIY, I'm taking quite a few of these bamboo skewers from the Dollar Tree, and let me tell you, I was pretty ambitious. I wanted to make 2 of these projects for this one, but oh my goodness, it gave me such a headache. I only did 1. Okay, so I'm taking these. What they are, they're bracelets, and they're just costume jewelry, and you can find these at the Dollar Tree as well. And so I just cut them down in half, and I don't cut them exactly perfectly half because I'll remedy that later, but I'm just going to hot glue them and at like an inch apart or maybe half an inch, I'm not sure, just whatever you preference. So here I'm adding the second little bracelet and then gluing that in place. Once I have everything glued in place, now I'll begin to use some twine again. As you can see, I love using twine. So with this twine, all I'm going to do is start to weave the twine in between the little bamboo skewers where the little bracelet's at. And so I'll crisscross. I'll do one side and I'll go all the way down, all the way around the candle holder on both sides. And when I'm done, then I'll crisscross it the other way to make an X at each point of connection to the bracelet, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just do this real quick, and then when I get done with that side, I'll do the bottom side or top side. I'll do the opposite side, and that's just it. That's my look. And so once I get done, I'll just get my miter shears and straighten up all the uneven skewers as best I can. They don't have to be perfect because these pieces, they're very rustic looking, and again, I'm gonna make it my own. So my one little candle holder but I just keep working it till I get it done, and that's about it. I'll tie it up, and it's fairly simple. It's just a little bit of a headache. Now I know why they're expensive. Now I know why they want $35 for 2 of these things. Oh my goodness. And I'd like to thank Sue over at Discovering the Art of Living for this dupe challenge. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. It would really help my new channel grow. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great, great day. Bye-bye.